She has been with Cortelyou for quite some time. She's now coming into the role as an ed director over at this location. And Ms. Johnson and Ms. A are at our other respective buildings. And I think some of them are on the call tonight. We have our office administration, Ms. Nelda and Ms. Amanda, as well as the accounts department, Mr. Francis and Mr. Gregory. So the agenda for our meeting tonight, just going to give you a little snapshot of Cortelyou Early Childhood Center and our learning environment, partnership with families, the daily schedule, some policies and procedures, as well as school calendar and school supplies, tuition and fees. And there is an update. I just wanted to kind of leave you hanging there. There are some updated tuition numbers, as well as questions and answers. So let's jump in. So just a brief history. Some of you are new, some of you are not. See a lot of returning families. We were founded in 1983. We've been here in the Flatbush community of Brooklyn for over 40 years. Our mission is to provide an excellent education, meeting each student's interests, abilities, and needs, promoting an appreciation for racial, religious, and cultural differences. We're a school that's present and here for everyone. And again, like I tell families all the time, we try our best to make sure that our school is, just diverse in all types, socioeconomic, racially, everything. So that's why we try to keep everything as affordable as possible. It's not that we're naive as to, the school across the street is charging $2,500. We want to still make it affordable to as many families that would like to get a Cortelyou education. So we try our best, and that's what we're still continuing to do. We do provide experienced and qualified early childhood teachers. We have a structured, child-friendly, and welcoming environment. And we have shared expectations of our school as well as our parents, because it is a community. I don't want to say it's a cooperative, but we like to call it home, and definitely an intimate school community where everyone knows your name. So we also provide connections for learning opportunities that extend beyond the classroom. We try to give you some additional resources because, as you know, parents are the first teachers. We try to teach and model and do as much as we can at school, but ultimately they're your babies. And for the last 2 years prior for you bringing them to school, you've been the one shaping and molding them into the little boys and girls that they are growing up to be. So this is a group effort, and it definitely, as the African proverb says, it takes a village. So we welcome you to the village, and we want all hands on deck and active participation in your child's educational journey. So as we partner with families, we want to promote this partnership. We provide again, warm and welcoming environment. We try to be respectful of all the different languages that are spoken here. We have a lot of languages that are spoken from our staff included. We have over a dozen different languages spoken amongst our staff. We plan with you for your child's transition into and out of our preschool program. So many of our families start with nursery, they go to preschool, then they go to elementary school, or even from preschool, they go to after school, summer camp. We try to help you along the journey. And those who do become Cortelyou lifers, we make sure we help you get to the middle school that's going to work for your child and their learning style and what's going to work for your educational trajectory for your little one. We communicate with you regularly and share important information about your child's learning, progress. We have parent-teacher conferences. We have reports, our programs, policies, and any upcoming activities. We try to be as transparent and communicative as possible. We join with you in making decisions, again, about your child's learning experiences, and we provide activities and opportunities to extend the learning outside of the classroom. We have some programs such as cultural passes that we pay for so that you have access to all the museums and zoos within New York City, because again, everything can happen during, the academic days. Some of the learning has to happen outside of the classroom, and we want to give you some additional support and resources to get that accomplished as well. A safe and healthy learning environment, supporting your child's development. So first and foremost, we have a secure and clean facility. That's important. When you come to school, we usually have to buzz you in. And even when I'm looking for schools for my own kid, you could be teaching everything under the sun. But if the building or the bathroom or anything like that is dirty, I've already lost interest. So we want to make sure that it's a clean, secure. We're talking about the cots, the toys, the chairs, the tables, everything, commonly touched items. We're constantly sanitizing because, again, this is the nursery population. And with our nursery little ones, their hands are in everything. They drool on everything. They want to put things in their mouth. We're teaching them, but it's new. And coming from the home environment to the school environment, you know, they have to learn a little bit of rules and regulations, and that's not your personal toy. And it's not even ideal to put everything in your mouth unless it's food or, you know, drink or water or something that you're trying to digest. Appropriate child supervision is present at all times. Their bathrooms are within their classroom. And again, they're little ones, so we're giving them a lot of assistance in the bathroom, making sure that we're helping them along this process of potty training, toilet training. And, you know, they need a little extra assistance sometimes after a number 2. So the teachers and the assistants are here to assist them with that. Full day instruction focused on the developing of their cognition, gross and fine motor development, as well as their social emotional skills, because we're developing the whole child, not just one part of the child, but the whole child. You know, we want to make sure that they can talk, they can walk, they can learn to snap their fingers, they can put puzzles together, they can climb up on the slide, they can slide down the pole, they can ride the tricycle in the backyard. All of that is towards the full development of the child. And during this process, we are going to work with you. And again, if we see anything, or sometimes parents come to us even before we see, and they're saying, you know, I have another one and something's a little bit different. Can you help us? Can you go over some of the developmentally learning milestones that they should be hitting at this particular age? And we absolutely can. Because our best thing that we're always telling parents is that early intervention is the best prevention. You want to make sure that if you see something, you say something so that we can address it, and we can address it first and foremost. It's very complicated sometimes when we try to work it back at first or second grade, and we realize that there were some little deficits or things that they needed assistance with when they were 2 or 3. So never look at this as an attack. Look at this as someone trying to work with you and partner with you and making sure that we can reach all the developmental milestones for your little one. So the support and encouragement to learn, try new things, active exploration, following routines in a structured environment, solving problems. You know, we don't want to always give them the answers. And I'm realizing, you know, now our generation of parents, we are giving them the answers and we're doing everything, but we need them to exercise their higher order of thinking. We need them to think outside the box. So when they're like, I don't know, like, well, what do you think we should do? Well, and if you give them a minute, they got the answer, you know? So we definitely want to make sure that they're using their words, they're using their brain, and they're exercising what they think may be the solution. And even if it's not the right solution, then we could talk them through it, just like with conflict resolution. So, and again, use of new vocabulary. You want to make sure that our kids have big vocabulary so that they can feel free to talk and have the words that they need. Group exercises, independent experiences, and physical activities, as well as all of our teachers. Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped too quick. All of our teachers and program. Sorry, I still have this here on my screen from the. Have the appropriate qualifications and mandatory security clearances and trainings to be present in our school building. As you know, our school is licensed with the Department of Health and also with the Department of Education as a contracted provider. So there's a lot of different, you know, regulations and stipulations that we need to adhere to. And like I said, we've been doing that successfully for the past 42 years. Miss Johnson, if you could just jump in there, and then I'm just gonna kind of move over to the chat. But know that we're gonna have a question and answer period, and know that we only have about 7 more slides. It's not a long meeting, so thank you so much for being patient with us and joining us tonight.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. It is a pleasure for us to see all our new beginning parents for our nursery. And so we're hoping, as Ms. Sophia says, we're hoping that you will stay on with us until our elementary program. So a little bit of our policies. We do have what's called a sign in and a sign out. So daily, if you've started with us, we are doing a sign out and sign in. At the front in the lobby, you will see the, we have our electronic system for you to sign in and sign out. The other thing we want to let you know as well, if there is someone who normally picks up your child, a specific person, but for some reason this person is not coming, whoever your other pickup person is, we just want you to call us, notify us, and that person must bring some form of identification. So please bear that in mind. And a lot of times, sometimes children may be crying because they're not familiar with this person. We will call you and we will let you know whether, we may not send the child with that person because the child may not be accustomed to that person. But we do want you to make sure that you send some information to us, and that person must bring a form of ID. Uniform policy, we do have uniforms. We send that out to you. So uniforms are worn the following days. Monday, Tuesday, and Thursdays are uniform days. On Wednesday, we have something called Spirit Day. And so we want them to make sure, or getting us what's called a school spirit. You wear a Cortelyou green t-shirt. And you also, and on Fridays, it's dressed down, which means you just wear anything on Fridays. And now for shoes, we understand that they are young, so we're asking parents, most of them don't know how to tie their laces, but just again, keeping in terms of being clean, we just want to make sure that they wear Velcro shoes are required as opposed to shoes with laces. And parents will be asking us, so how are they going to learn to tie their laces? We do have activities that we're practicing them with. So we just want to make sure that you're aware of that. So all our little ones, we would like them to wear Velcro shoes. It's easier, in fact, too, when they go down for nap and they need to take shoes off, it's easier for us to take it off and put it on. So we just want to make sure that you're aware of that. And labeling, label all of their belongings. Everything that belongs to your child needs to be labeled. Their clothes, their water bottle, whatever you have, please label it. Their sheets, because they're going to bring cot sheets. Please make sure that you label every single thing should have your child's name. And a sheet, a child needs a cot sheet. We will show you that if you're not familiar what a cot sheet is. It's just a small sheets that you normally use, especially when they're infants and they're using these small sheets to put on their beds. It needs to be washed every week. So you have one, you bring it on Monday, it's labeled, and then we take them back home on Friday. So by the Department of Health, if your child does not bring a sheet, then Department of Health is saying to us, I'm sorry, we're not supposed to put them on the cots. And again, this is for health reasons as well. So we're reminding you to make sure that you bring that sheet every Monday, and then we'll send them back on Friday. Birthday parties, we do have you need to communicate to us if your child is going to have a birthday party. We need to be aware. And we also have a little form that we give to you, and we tell you what are some of the things that we would like to see the party. Of course, we don't like to have sweets. We don't want to have, we still want to keep in guidelines of the Department of Health, which says we need them to have things that are nutritious. So if you're planning a birthday party, please let us know. We do have the application, and we can give you some further information. Emergency contact. Now, with so much things happening, we need that person to arrive within 30 to 60 minutes for pickup if there's any emergency. So again, there's too many things happening. Please make sure that you have that emergency contact person. And again, DOHMH, we are under what's called Article 47. That's according to the Department of Health, which simply means we are not authorized to give your child medication. So if your child is sick, we're asking to make sure that the child stay at home. We do have, parents will bring all these things. Oh, the doctor gave him this, and it's 2 milligrams, and how much? We are not allowed to give it to them. So we just wanted to inform you of that. And the most important thing is an annual physical examination must be submitted. Many times parents are like, I'm going to give you the immunization information. Immunization information will be on the physical. We can always find that, but your child needs to have an annual physical done every single year. So if your child does not have the physical coming in on if your child starts in September, then we are unable to accept your child, because that will be a violation based on Department of Health. And the big thing that we need to inform parents, once your child is under 5, your child needs to have that annual flu shot. Now, we gave you up to November 1st to ensure that your child receives that flu shot. Flu season normally starts like July, ending of July into August. So all students, all our children, all our young ones, and there's no exemptions. No exemptions in terms of some people will come to us with religious reasons. There is absolutely no exemption. The only exemption your child will have is if the doctor says, if your child takes flu shot, this is what's going to happen. And we need that documentation from the doctor. So other than that, your child must have the flu shot. And again, we will ask you again, if your child exhibit any of the symptoms that we have here, like flu, and the child is constantly coughing and ringworm and diarrhea, and there's a young children have something called hand, foot, and mouth disease, lice, pink eye, throat, gastroenteritis, any of these things, ear infections, because a lot of these things really do affect the younger ones, we're asking you to keep them home. It's hard for them. Imagine you're having hand, foot, and mouth disease, and some of these are called communicable disease, which means it passes on from one child to the other. So we're asking you to make sure that you keep them home, and then submit a doctor's notice to say that the doctor says my child is eligible to return to school. So please, again, we want to keep our environment clean. We want to think of others. So again, we're asking you to keep them home. And submit a doctor's notice stating again that your child is eligible to return to school if your child is absent for more than 3 consecutive days, if more than 3 consecutive days. And on the other part, I wanted to remind parents, if your child is not coming, please do give us a call. You also have access to our ProCare system, which you communicate with the teachers, send a message, or do call us to let us know your child is not in school. So we do have those documentations that we keep as well. So please inform us if your child will not be at school on any particular time. I see somebody's asking about pillows, no pillows, no pillows, no pillows. So no pillows, but we do must have a cot sheet. And, in some cases we do have a little blanket for them, but no pillows. And the hours of operation, we're open at 7 and breakfast is from 7:30 to 8:30. We do have free play and toileting from 8:30 to 9. Then classes begin at 9. All students, and we just wanted to reiterate, because a lot of times parents think that, oh, they're 2, so I can bring them in 10 o'clock and 11. Young children do need structure and they do need routine. So we want to make sure that they understand the routine. You're coming at night. It's a whole routine thing. They have toileting, they have all of that. So we're asking you to make sure that they arrive to school on time. We don't want 9:30. We don't want 9:15. We don't want 10 o'clock. So we're just asking you to make sure that you bring them to school on time, because again, you're building routine for them, and young children do thrive and do better when they have a specific routine. Lunch is served from 8:30 to 12:30, and then we have nap time. Nap time is 2 hours from 1 to 3. And then after that, they get up a snack, and snack is half an hour, 3 to 3:30. And then we do have afternoon activities. Some of our afternoon activity includes, we have some circle time, and we do have some story time as well. And then I know we were doing so a little bit of Spanish. And it's not like we're teaching, but we do like lots of activities in a specific language, because we do want our children, again, we're looking at the whole child, and children do pick up languages at a very early age. Dismissal is, we have 5:30. We're just reminding parents, 5:30. Again, we do understand things do happen. And so if anything happened for any reason, do give us a call. Again, we do have teachers. We have teachers coming as far as New Jersey. So again, we just want everyone to be considerate about our teachers. Some of them live some of them are in Long Island. We have teachers do live in Queens, which is not far, which is okay, but we do have teachers living far, and we just want to be considerate of them. So again, we're asking and reminding you that dismissal, we end at 5:30. If for any reason things happen and you're unable, do give us a call. But if it's a consistent thing, then, we'll have to have a conversation with you. And then I just wanted to remind you that although we have this bathroom specific time here, we do have bathroom breaks throughout the day. We're constantly taking your child to the bathroom. So we do have bathroom breaks throughout the day. So when you have your meet and greet time and you have the schedule, you'll see how the bathroom breaks really go. So you'll get a little bit more about that.
I'm
Can I
coming.
slide?
I'm coming, Ms. Johnson. I just wanted
Okay.
to
So you can add, okay.
just wanted to add in regards to the dismissal time. It's actually 5:45. 5:45, not 5:30, because we ultimately used to go up till 6 p.m. So we're nearer to 5:45. And I just want to interject and let parents know, oh, I have no video on. Let me put it on for you. I don't know if people are noticing or what's going on and I don't even want to say New York City. I want to say nationwide. In some cases, it may be actually it's kind of worldwide. There is a shortage of teachers because a lot of time, and some of you here, if I tell you to put your hands up, people are opting to do jobs that they can, do from home. And one thing you can't do from home is watch a little one, I mean, unless you're mom and dad and you're watching your own, but people are taking their educational experience and, we're teaching online. We are also tutoring online. We're doing a lot of different support and a lot of people are going to jobs that are, that they're doing online. Even some of our very, very good friends and people that used to work with us started here at Cortelyou. Then they're like APs, assistant principals in the DOE. They're retired now at 52 and 58. And I'm like, well, why did you do that? There's like, because we can, and because we're tired of being in the classroom, in the building. So there's a real shift that we as educational administrators are experiencing right now. Because again, we're not a mom and pop, we're not a house-based daycare, a home-based program. We're an early childhood center. So when we go and we're hiring and looking for staff, we're looking for people who have associates, bachelors, and masters and certifications. And right now, our biggest competitor is the Department of Education, as well as the charter schools. So we are trying our best to be as competitive as we can be. And I'm just asking that parents will just, continue to work with us. Because again, we don't, we started this business 42 years ago, and we don't want to be in this business if we can't be able to still do it from, the bottom of our heart, and not only for the monetary purposes of it, because trust me, we would charge 2,500 or 2,650 like they charge across the street. We want to make sure that an early childhood affordable education is available to every family. And personally, because I grew up on Cortelyou Road, right on top of our first storefront, I know what it is to live and work and go to PS 139 and Ditmas and go in this community and go to these schools. This is a great neighborhood. And now it is pretty pricey. So we as the school and being able to service families who have come here for over 2 and 3 generations, we still want to make it affordable to everyone. So that's why we try our best to keep the prices down as affordable as possible, but still be competitive to pay my teachers well. So we're trying our best to, keep our doors open till 5:45, 6 o'clock as we used to, but just being competitive, sometimes people do think daycare days are long. So we're trying to give you still everything that we've had before, but I just want you guys to know that there are stresses that every principal and early childhood centers are experiencing finding qualified staff. So just know that, and if you work in education, you know what we're talking about. I have cousins in Florida, cousins in Atlanta, and they said they started schools with substitutes. They don't have teachers. So this is not only a Brooklyn problem. This is everything. This is everyone's problem. So please be, as kind as you can to the people who show up. When Dunkin' Donuts after what was that thing, the pandemic we had, and people were like, the line's long or whatever. And they're like, please don't yell at the people that are here. We are trying our very best, and we're going to give your kids great service. And again, we've been doing it for 4 decades. We want to do it for 4 more. And we just want you to work with us as we continue to provide the best education that we can to our 2-year-olds. Ms. Johnson.
Oh, thank you. Sorry. Just continuing. Thank you so much, Sophia. We just want to encourage you to ensure that your child attend regularly. This is why we used to had part-time, but we don't, because again, as I stress, children do thrive well on a routine. So We just want to make sure that you are bringing them on a regular basis. We want you to also observe important procedures, arranging for a responsible person to pick up your child, bringing them on time, and also picking them up on time. And participating, we do have ongoing communication with your child's teacher. That's so important. That's like your next of kin, your new best friend. So make sure that you're working well with the teacher. And participate in hands-on activities and other opportunities that will help extend learning outside of the classroom. If there are any changes, we do have some changes sometimes in families, and we notice a child's behavior, and you notice your child's behavior has changed, please do let us know. We don't really need to know, getting in depth into whatever the personal information is, but do let us know, like, your families are going through a crisis. I do have a situation happening. Please let us know. So we just do want to make sure that we're aware of that. And if we notice anything, we're not clinicians, we're not going to diagnose your child. But if we see some things, if we see some sorts of developmental delay or some things that we notice that is out of, we will also inform you. And if you as a parent also notice some things, please do let us know. And the required enrollment documentations is important for you to submit, which will be your application, your signed consent form, that's important. Your child's physical is important as well. So these are some documents that you need to really be able to submit to us. We also have what's called a lunch form. That also needs to be submitted to us. So make sure that you submit, go through the standard the application, and make sure that you fill out all the necessary documents. Now, if your child is coming to school for the very first time, there's certain things. There's a lot of things that you need to make sure that the doctors do, which we'll tell you a little bit more, like making sure the child's height and the child's, like all those things on the physical. Just make sure that the doctors fulfill all of those things, like lead risk. That needs to be done every year. Lead risk, the child's blood level. Please make sure when you go to the doctors, do not allow them to leave it blank. They need to make sure that they're constantly doing that. So lead risk assessment, blood levels, my child's height and weight. And that's, again, for the first, especially if you're coming out. But lead risk and blood levels need to be done every year. So again, when you go to the doctors, we as educators, we're not doctors, but we have to be combing through these the physical when it comes, and sometimes we will tell you, like, oh, the doctor did not do the lead risk, or your doctor did not do the blood level. So make sure that you two are vigilant and you're looking at all of that when you take the physical to the doctor. Next slide. And I just wanted to let you know there's certain vaccines that your child need to have. We do as well. We do look at it. We're not doctors, but these are things that we need to know as well as admin working in the administrative sector, because when Department of Health comes, they do come to us because they want to make sure that we know it as well. So on your left of the screen, this is all the required vaccines that your child at a specific age need to have. We have DTaP, we have polio, we have MMR. So all these, how many dosages they're supposed to have. So we do make sure that we want to adhere to that. Now, if your child may not fulfill some of these criteria, there's a process called a catch-up, but that is something that you have to speak to your doctor about, the catch-up process, and we need to get that letter from your doctor saying, hey, the child at this time was not able to have, let's say your child only have one dose of DTaP, one dose of it, one dosage. So we need to have something from the doctor saying, okay, this child has just one dosage, but the child is going to have the second one this date, then the third one this date, and the fourth. So we need to make sure that we're having that on file for your child so that when the Department of Health comes, we have that documentation. So it's so important. And when we ask you for these things, we're just asking, making sure families that we have to adhere. If we don't adhere to that, we get what's called a violation. And if you have X amount of children without it, you get what's called a fine. So you got to go to court and you pay a fine. So we just want to make sure that we stay in compliance. So when we send and we ask you, we're just asking you to make sure that you work with us so that we wouldn't get that fine. And here again is the physical, what you should have. This is the physical, and I'm sure you would have gotten it in your packages. But again, make sure that you're looking over and all of the requirements that we just stated to you. Please make sure that it's all filled in where it's supposed to be. The next slide. And we did talk about our communication process. We do have a system that we call ProCare. And again, this is the daily signing and sign out. We do have communication. You'll have communication from your teachers daily. I can tell you that. If we're doing any activities, we do take photos and videos and all nice, interesting activities. We will be sending you that. Our accounts department will also send you financial information through our ProCare system. So we just want to let you know. We do also have like newsletters that we do, like I believe every month. So we will have that sent to you as well. And we also do emailing as well. As you're aware, we do our info at myCECC. That is our form of communication. So there are two forms of communication that will be used for our nursery, and the teachers will use the ProCare as well as accounts will use the ProCare. Info will be mostly the admin will be using the info emails. So they'll be specifically be sending you emails. And of course, a calendar. So we are going to, calendar would be more or less, oh,
You can
somebody said,
locate the calendar. I took it out of the shot
okay.
on
Oh,
our.
I think I saw somebody send something, Sophia, I wanted to add to answer it. You said your child had flu shots in January.
Those would be expired.
That's expired. So your child has to have, there are different flu seasons. The flu season starts in July. It goes from July to the next year, July. So yeah, so that's how it is. So if we, Department of Health comes and we show them that, guess what? That's not going to be accepted. So that is
so that's so flu shots need to be, I want to say June moving forward, but if you haven't gotten a flu shot, July, they put out new flu shots every like mid-year. So anything from September would be great for this season, October, November. So if you don't have it yet, I would get it in September. And this is something that's required by the Department of Health and Department of Education for children ages 2, 3, 4. After you get to the grade of kindergarten and up, then you can opt in or opt out. No one's, no one's really policing you on those shots. And as far as just regular shots, I know you spoke about it already, but to be in a Department of Health accredited program, you have to have not flu shots, you have to have immunizations. Some people may opt out due to religious reasons and any other particular reasons. You can't do that and be in a Department of Health school or Department of Ed school anymore. They've signed off different reasons as to why not. Before people could, write a nice letter, put a Bible verse on it, and religiously you are exempt. Now you would need medical clearance due to like allergies, this, that, or whatever, and have to say, your doctor has to clearly say you cannot get this shot. So anybody in those particular situations, you could talk to us on the back end, but they really do not waiver. And because just like, we all drive cars in New York City, we all walk in New York City, and you get tickets for everything, they will ticket us. Just like they ticket us for our cars. They will ticket us per child in a building that don't have these proper immunizations. So we just can't do unimmunized children in a Department of Health school. Really quickly, in regards to the academic calendar, this is for the nursery program. So something that all of you will get in September, let me just see, because I'm still in the school building. No, I don't see it. Okay. Of course, it's not here when I need it. But we have these magnetic calendars. And this year it went from January to December. So we are going to give out some to our new people who are joining us. And since all of you are in nursery, you're brand new. So we have a magnetic calendar that's orange, and it's always here. But we have this magnetic calendar, and it sticks on our refrigerator. And then you can add this paper to the magnetic calendar. So this is just very specific to the nursery program. So it goes on, like today, it's the virtual orientation. It talks about when we're closed. It talks about when we're open. It tells you when we have early dismissals, like during the holiday season, during the beginning of school, things of that nature, as well as it tells you when holiday pictures are, when to bring them dressed up to take their, holiday fall pictures, or when it's career day and when we're going to dress up in particular future career things. So we'll constantly keep you posted, but definitely going onto the website. It's not there now, but we sent it in the email to you, but you want to print this out and stick it to the magnetic calendar and leave it at the side of your fridge. And this will keep you right the whole academic year. The days that we're closed, we usually only close for federal holidays. So, and there are times that the rest of the school is closed, but the nursery program is still open. So that's why we don't want you to get confused. There's a nursery calendar. There is a 3K pre-K for all calendar. So you may hear some 3K pre-K for all saying, oh, school is closed. It may be closed for them, but it may not be closed for you. So know that you have a couple extra days that they may not have. And then our K to 5s. So there's 3 different calendars and you're focused on your nursery calendar. So just bear that in mind.
Ms. Sophia, I just wanted to remind parents just to say that we are closed, all sites are closed during the Christmas holidays. All our sites are closed. I think it's from December 24th all the way to January 1st. So in that case, nursery will be closed for that week.
Yes. Is everybody seeing the uniform? I'm just making sure I got back into the right presentation. Are you seeing the uniform policy, everyone?
Yes. And you
Oh.
have a few questions in the chat.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Okay, I'll jump in. Well, Ms. Johnson, if you can talk a little bit about the uniform policy, and then I'll jump into the chat.
Right. So just a little bit, as noted again, just making sure that everything is labeled. All our students, our little ones must be dressed in their school uniform. We have the specific dates, which I did say. We would like them to wear black shoes with the Velcro or snaps. The girls, of course, they can wear green socks, or sometimes we do navy blue. That's fine if they have that. Boys are required to wear black or navy blue socks as well. And you can also get our uniform at Cookies, and you can tell them Cortelyou, or you can go to Ideal. Ideal do have some information about our schools, so you can go to Ideal as well. I know some parents were calling because they're saying, oh, Cookies saying they don't know anything about us. But when you go to Cookies, please go on the Cortelyou Early Childhood Center. Some people know we have different sites with different names. We have Cortelyou Academy. If you go to Cookies with Cortelyou Academy, they'll tell you they can't find the school. But do make sure that you're telling them Cortelyou Early Childhood Center when you go. We did send out our supplies list, and we also want you to be aware of what are some of the things that needs to come. So this is the thing. This is what we have for our uniform. And again, on Wednesdays, Cortelyou green t-shirt, and on Fridays, a dress down day. This means no uniform. Just want a quick thing. When you bring, because you do bring change of clothes for them, just want to remind you that when you bring change of clothes, it must be seasonal clothes. So in terms of, you have to think it's fall. So I'm not going to bring shorts for my child. So again, or sandals. So we just want to make sure that you're making sure that you are aware of the different seasons. Will be sending back home some things to you. Let's say it is getting into winter and your child just have, fall, and the t-shirt might be a little bit light. We will probably send that back and said, okay, your child might need something heavier. So again, we will be sending information and communicating with you. And of course, our teachers are in constant contact with you. Okay. And again, I did mention about the supply list. Here is the supply list. So we just want to remind you again, this is our supply. We need to have wipes are important. If you have wipes become important for our children, we want to make sure that they have specific pull-ups. Again, making sure that you label them. We would like to also have glue stick. Those are important. In A&D ointment. A&D ointment really, really helps our little ones as well. So please make sure. We need anything for wipes. We need antibacterial wipes for them. And you can also bring the baby wipes and of course the cot sheets, which is changed every week. So you can't bring a cot sheet and say, oh, it can go for the next 2 weeks. No, it has to be taken home, washed, and bring it back or return it to us. And we want 2 pictures of your children. We do put it on their cubbies. And that's one way of developing their reading. Because when we put their information, we put their things in their little cubbies, because they do have cubbies, they learn that this is their cubby based on the picture that they see. So again, that's beginning reading for them. So please make sure that you submit 2 pictures for them. One self-portrait and the other one must be a family-size picture. And we also do books. We introduce fiction as well as non-fiction, because that's a big thing for our students. So we're asking you for 2 sets of storybooks as well. And again, storybooks must be age appropriate. Since there are nursery, we're asking for those board books. Board books are great books for them. So we're asking you to submit those as opposed to books with the other pages. We need the board books because it's easier to clean. That's one. And the process of them getting destroyed it's minimal. So we're asking you to just submit those board books to us. And again, can look through the our supply list and you see the other things that needs to come in. If you're getting scissors, just want to let you know, if you're bringing scissors for your children, try not to bring pointed scissors, bring the round tip scissors for them. This is young ones again. They're developing their fine motor skills. Make sure it's round. It is not anything with pointed edges. So that is important for us. Construction paper, and we do give them activities. I know sometimes homework, we give them, and homework, I just want to let parents know, homework is just, it's not busy work, but it's a way for you to find out what are some things that they're doing in the classroom. It's not a must that they do, but we would love you. This is one way as well that you're working with your child. So we're asking you to work with them so you get to see what they're doing for the week. We do have themes that we do with our young ones. You get to see the theme. You get to see the activities that are being done in the classroom as well. So when you have the meet and greet sessions, you will learn a little bit more about that. We also have a black and white composition notebook. That's important that we have that as well. Some of them, they might be tracing letters. We start to have them writing their letters. And we can see some of them have their fine motor skills are beginning to develop. So we're asking you to bring one of those construction marble black and white books for them. And that will help. And Mr. Francis is there for tuition and fees. You can talk about tuition, or Miss Sophia, you can talk about tuition.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mr. Francis. I know you see another Miss Francis, but that's Miss Johnson. I'm gonna talk about the tuition and fees. I know everyone is excited for the new upcoming year. Your child is about to start on the road. From nursery, hopefully you'll stay with us all the way to the 5th grade. That's 9 years, I believe, if I'm counting correctly. So welcome to the family. First, the registration, I think 95, if not 98% of everyone already paid for that already. So that secure your seat up on submission of your application. You also paid the last month of June, which is a great thing, which means in June you don't have any tuition at all, okay, except for the tuition for your 3K if you're gonna do extended day program. There is a sibling discount, okay, if you do have more than one, which we're always happy to have siblings, okay. The early registration, as I said, I'll let Sophia explain this portion part right here with the 1,500, since y'all are grandfathered in.
Okay. Okay, great. So what we wanted to let families know, and we really do appreciate that We have a long waiting list, and that a lot of families did join and knew that they were ready to join our school and paid their tuition from March and April and May of this year because they were part of our early registrants. So we didn't want the tuition to change for those families who committed to Cortelyou from day one, and we appreciate you for coming in when pregnant and all that good stuff, saying, I'm going to be back. So parents who already paid their $1,500 for that last month in June, as well as their registration fee for $300 prior to August 1st, they are part of the grandfathered nursery families, and that's about 2.5 classes full of that. So what it means for those families is that your tuition is still $1,500 up until the end of this year, December 31st. So up until your December payment is $1,500. And then the new price that everyone else who has come after is $1,800. So as of January 1st, it would be $1,800. Similarly, if for some reason even $1,800 is not going to work for you because you were really, banking on the $1,500 and you're not going to be able to make that. If it's not going to work for you, you can email us back directly at info@mycecc.com to any of us, and I'll respond. And we would be able to, refund you your money and take back your seat. I mean, in a sweet way, but I just want to make sure that everyone can work in their particular budgetary constraints and so forth. And we do understand that it's a change that you didn't necessarily plan for. But we are fine with, releasing your seat and giving you back your monies. So you would just need to send us an email and let us know, and we'll be able to swap it out with someone else who's coming in. So another thing is the new monthly tuition for those of you who decided to join us. And it's still one of the best prices on Cortelyou Road right now. So $1,800 isn't bad, because I know in the in-home daycares, they're charging even more. And again, our team, our Ms. Tamika Serras, all of our people that you have certified early childhood directors and teachers working for you here in the center. Again, we try to keep our prices as reasonable as possible, but we're able to still keep it with a nice, within a nice parameter that it can work for everyone, because we, like the other buildings, we've been here for 42 years. And if many of you own houses, condos, or anything of the night, usually when you have a mortgage, it's for 30 years. Our buildings are, our business is family owned. Our buildings are owned. We don't have to transfer anybody's, real estate developers, pricing to you. Unfortunately, the other schools do. Those buildings were not there when I was growing up, and they've erected these buildings and they're charging them a lot of money. They really are. So I don't even blame them for their tuition, but over on Cortelyou, we don't have to transfer those fees over to you. So we're just asking that you bear with us, be with us, and just really, when we put out the fundraising activities and things that we want to do, please help us. We want all hands on deck and all participations. We're not exactly a parent cooperative, but we move that way. So just remember to give us all the support that we need, and we're going to continue to provide the best early childhood education possible in Brooklyn, like we like to say. Mr. Francis.
Okay, thank you very much for that. So that's a savings for the people who already took advantage and signed up in advance. So moving forward, okay, the 5th of every month tuition is due. Okay, so you can pay in a form of cash, money order, EFT, or credit card. My suggestion to you is do EFT or checks. Okay, if you do money order, make sure the money order can be you can read it, because sometimes when you copy it, you can't see it. Okay, and that becomes a problem. So be careful of the money order that you buy, but those are the different forms. If you'd like to sign up for the EFT, just send us an email. We'll send you the link. It's only $1 for the EFT versus the credit card, and the EFT, which means that it's taken from your checking account or bank account. But we reach out to you to let you know prior to doing that. Okay, so there's a late fee charge. All late fee charge of $50 after the 5th of each month. Any bounce check is $30. After one bounce check, we will not accept any more checks from you. Okay? In any form. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've heard all the excuses in the world. Somebody scammed my bank account. Somebody withdraw something from my account. So there's a lot of little different things that I've gone through. But so make sure you prepare yourself for each month of the 15th. And if there's a situation that I have not heard of before, just please send me an email or pick up the phone and reach out to me. Okay? And I'll be gladly assist you in trying to make sure that we make things a little bit more easier for you for that particular month. I know they spoke about Spirit Week, and the Spirit Day is every Wednesday. So if you need a t-shirt for Spirit Day, you can go to the school store, which is www.mycecc.com/store. If you click on that, it takes you right to the store. You can order your spirit shirt, and it's good for parents too, you know, so the kids know that we have size in kids and parents. And so if you place your order, we'll have everything ready for you to pick up, including also your patches. The patches is also on the in the store, so you can purchase that too. School trips will be announced. Some school trip parent can accommodate, come along with their child. That's not an issue. Late pickup is $1 per minute after 6 p.m., which means you're getting 15 minutes grace period. Okay, from 5:45. The school T-shirt is $15 each. Okay, available in the main store. There's a couple other things I like to mention too. Also, the sign in and out. Okay, we'll get that information to you once you come in, you pick up, because those are like numbers that we have to give to you personally to sign in and sign out. And as Miss Francis spoke with you about earlier, 5:45 is the latest you can pick your child up. The Pro Care has a lot of different attributes, but this is where you can do all your communication, make all your payments, find out what you owe or what you don't owe. You can see your summary balance. Okay, now you also have what is called a mobile app. The majority of you sign up for your mobile app. What you can do also for us to get a better opportunity to know who you are, you can add your photo in ProCare. You can add the child photo and you can add your photo, but that's only with the mobile app. This orientation is also being recorded, so at the end of the night or tomorrow, we'll send that back out to you, okay, with some information that goes along with it. There's a form called a CSFP form, which is a form that has to be filled out by each and every family that attends this daycare. Okay, this is for your child to eat free breakfast, lunch, and snack. Okay, if you choose to send your child with their own breakfast, lunch, and snack, that's okay. You still have to fill out the form and hand it to us. One of our biggest fundraiser that we have in the fall is called the Brooklyn Nets fundraiser. We pick one of the hottest games, and then all the family from nursery all the way up to our 5th grade participate. So it's usually somewhere about 100 parents that attend with kids. So it's a very nice outing. If there's any questions that you may have for the accounts department, The best way to get a hold of me is through email, or you can reach out to me via phone between the hours of, I would say, 9 and 12. Okay? So emails, I answer emails all time of the night, so it doesn't matter. 12 o'clock, if I'm up and I'm on the computer, I'm answering email. Okay, so I believe that's it for me. I spoke about the Pride t-shirt. I spoke about the patches. I spoke about the school store. I spoke about the sign in and sign out. I spoke about the CSFB form, which is very important. We can email that. We can go back and forth via email to do that, so you can sign that way. Spoke about the lateness. And one thing I like to say is welcome to the family. And I know your first day, the 5th and the 6th, remember, where it's half a day. And when you take those pictures of your beautiful children, make sure you tag us in your social media posting. We'll really appreciate it. Thank you and welcome to the Cortelyou family. We're kicking off 41 years.
Thank you, Mr. Francis. So really quickly, we're going to open up the question and answer period. And one thing I just wanted to reiterate to families is we're communicating to everyone through the ProCare app, our info email. We're always sending out email blasts. Please make sure that you have our number as well as our email, info@mycecc.com. Don't let it go to spam, because even last week we had situations in where we thought there may be a tornado in New York. I mean, it was pretty windy and gusty, but when things happen, we've been here in the blackout of 2023, 9/11, different things like that, all these different type of things. And even with the pending election that's coming up, we just want to make sure we can reach a parent as soon as we can, and that you have highlighted, identified people who are your emergency contacts. So it's important that if you change your number, you change your email, you're, getting rid of something, let us know so that we can always reach out to you. In the case of an emergency, you should have about 3 other persons who are, mom, dad, grandma, auntie, godmama, whoever the case may be. Make sure that we have some emergency people and people that know that if something's going on in the city and you're in Manhattan, they know that they should, start heading over to the daycare. Mom's in the city and I'm the emergency person. We look in the file and they're able to, bring the baby back to the house that's just right here on Argyle or whatever the case may be. Physical examinations, we talked about that. Just know that usually physicals happen when their birthday happens. That's when insurance usually approves another one. So usually you're giving us an updated physical every year on the child's birthday, in or around. That's how it usually happens. Anything in between those times are just updates of information. Oh, we got this shot. Oh, we got this flu shot. And then you're just printing us an update. I'm a mom just like you guys. Maybe if you're a local mom, even if you're not a local mom, everyone around here goes to Tribeca Pediatrics. So, the portal for Tribeca Pediatrics is pretty user-friendly. You can go in, print, cut, send, PDF it, and email it to us, and we can update it in their accounts. Really quickly, again, allergies and other allergic reactions. Let us know if they have any allergies. The thing with little 2-year-olds is that sometimes we don't know yet what they're allergic to. So if we too see allergic reactions after pineapple, or we see allergic reactions after, I don't know, let's say we gave out guacamole, which we don't usually do guacamole, but something like that. Because little people, sometimes they didn't have something before and now they're exposed to it. And now we know, and now you know, and now we know, okay, they're 2 and they can't have guacamole. So we'll, again, work together with figuring out what little ones are allergic to. But if you do know what they are allergic to, let us know, because we do have allergy lists posted throughout the building on all of our refrigerators. So all of our teachers are aware, just in case, someone's absent or whatever the case may be. But if you're on a particular floor and you're serving breakfast, lunch, or snack, we know what every child in that room is allergic to. And then I am going to open this up to a question and answer period. There was a lot of questions in the chat. I hope people were keeping up with it. But I just saw another question that got asked, and then I'm just going to continue back. Can you share the etiquette around tipping staff at year end and end of summer camp, the counselors? This was a practice at our previous daycare, so just curious as I plan ahead. So we're always welcome to tips. Usually at the end of the summer, not so much, not so really, just because we have so many different teachers who are on vacation. So who was here for the first 3 weeks are not here now, then who was here for 2 weeks, 4 weeks, this, that. And it's a whole different price point during the summertime. And it's a little bit different because everyone's moving around. So we do, I mean, and if you can, during the Christmas season, holiday season, you know, whatever we call the holidays, you know, Hanukkah, this, that, during Christmas, people are looking for gifts. Not me, really. You know, they never remember the directors, or well, they remember Miss Johnson. They love Miss Johnson. But definitely, please remember your teachers during that time. Please remember your teachers. And we'll send out a little note about, you know, some recommendations. Sometimes they'll put down, you know, what they like and things of that nature. But they're looking for it during that time, and also during Teachers Appreciation Week, which is usually in May, in or around like May, and then they have nurses. But when it's time to appreciate teachers, we definitely want to appreciate our teachers because, again, you know, a lot of people are not, you know, being teachers anymore. So we want to make sure that people who sign up to do this job all day, every day, and with the patience of, you know, Job and everyone else, that we are definitely supporting them as they continue to support your little people. Okay, so are there any questions that weren't addressed in the chat or that you would like me to elaborate on? You can raise your hand, you can unpause really quickly and go ahead and ask that question.
Hi, I have a question. Can you guys hear me?
We hear you, Tamara.
Okay. Can you elaborate on the fees? And I know we had to do a down payment or last payment for
Yes.
June.
Yes.
Does that carry over for a month or?
No, so let me tell you, well, let me tell them really quickly about the last payment. The last payment is for the month of June. That's
Yeah,
for June
yeah.
2025. And people, and that would
I think
be
they-
Tamara, you were grandfathered in. So right now, everyone, when September comes, everyone's paying their tuition for September, October, November, December. Grandfathered people are paying $1,500, $1,500, $1,500, $1,500. New people are paying $1,800, $1,800, $1,800, $1,800. When it comes to January 1st, everyone is paying $1,800. So everyone is now on the same wavelength because the grandfather people and the newer people are all paying $1,800 a month. Anybody who joins now would have to pay a security deposit of $1,800 for their month of June. And the people who are already here who paid June from March, April, May, or whenever they paid it, it was $1,500 and it's just that $1,500. You don't have to go back and say, do I need to put $300 on it? Absolutely not. So you would have had 5 months of $1,500 and 5 months of $1,800. So just know that you still start paying September, October, November, but when it gets to June of 2025, no one should have any tuition during that month because you have already paid for that last month.
I see that we have some very sharp parents.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? I did have a question in regards to pull-ups, and I just want to make sure that everyone's on the same page with pull-ups. So with pull-ups, we don't do diapers. We don't do cloth diapers. We don't, I mean, I know it's not environmental friendly, but our objective is to get children trained. So we want parents to work with us as we continue to start training our little ones. And sometimes what you've been doing at home, it can work, but once they get to school and everyone's doing it, it's a thing. People become potty trained overnight just because everyone at school is doing it. It's the thing to do, to go to the potty. So we want pull-ups because they're easier to remove, snap on, snap out, because we are helping them along this journey and process. We don't do diapers because it's different. Sometimes you have to take off all the clothes to kind of maneuver with it. And pull-ups are just easier because if they're getting trained and they're not messing them up, then the pull-up is still good as well. So pull-ups with side opening pull-ups is what we use.
Okay, just to answer the question in regards to the app, the app, I believe you just go in the app store and pull the app up. But whatever information in regards to get that, I will send that out along with the orientation.
Are there any other questions? Has everyone been following along with the chat, or do you want me to review some of those things? I don't want to keep you longer than I have to. Any other burning questions? And something else that people talked about was in regards to like school trips. He mentioned it briefly. Nursery children don't go on school trips. We bring trips to them. So it's just something that's going to happen. We'll let you know if, puppets are coming or things of that nature, but we don't go out. Like, I think this week is the 14th. So yeah, so tomorrow we have Puppetsburg coming. So we'll have a whole puppet company come and they'll put on a performance for our little people here, weather permitting in the backyard. We'll bring the whole school together and we'll put on a puppet show. So, and I think earlier this month we had Alley Pond Environmental Center, and then they came in with the turtles and they came in with the wallabies. And so little people, we bring the trips to them. We bring the trips to them. But years past, we would go to the zoo together, and we would also go to, I'm going to see what we can do, but we used to go to the farm. The farm was a lot of fun. But if we do go out with little people, we need to bring parents. You would need a parent to go. Okay. Any other questions remember, the email is still here, info@mycecc.com. If you shoot us an email, we would be able to answer your questions as well. Let me just do this quick one. Can you give a quick rundown on getting the meds forms from Tribeca? Like how you get the medical form? So all you have to do, you don't even have to go with the form that we have. You go into Tribeca, if you go to the one right here, anyone, but the Ditmas Park location, and just say, hi, I'm Sophia Francis. Can I get a medical form for my son, Kyle? And they'll just say, wait a second. And they'll print it for you and give it to you and stamp it and send you on your way. So they already have the medical form. Everything now is computerized, and if you're going to a doctor, that they're still filling out a form manually, switch your doctor, because that's not ideal. Because even what happens in the Tribeca Pediatrics and all the pediatrics that are online and I guess linked, they're linked to something called the CIRS system, CIRS, City Immunization Registry System. So even when you don't give us your physical is expired by a day, I can go into the system, Ms. Johnson, Ms. Tamika, any of our directors, we can go into a system because we have access as a school into the City Immunization Records service, and we can see all children's in New York City and what shots they have and don't have. Because again, when the Department of Health comes to inspect, just like restaurants and anything else, they're looking for things, and they're like, this person's off by a day, or this. I don't know why they do it, but it's just the same reason why, I got red light cameras. Like, they're just trying to get you off by something. So please make sure you're going to a doctor that's high-tech, computerized, and everything is going into the citywide immunization registry service. Because then sometimes that helps saves us as well. And you just should be going to one of those doctors. Tribeca is great. Check out Tribeca. Okay, so any other questions? Okay, so we don't want to keep you too long because I know we're over an hour and I promised you 45 minutes. But definitely the first day of school is right around the corner. One thing that we do want to let you know is that after Labor Day, because as you know, next week, Friday, we're going to close on August 23rd. That's going to be our last day of summer programming. Then we're going to close and reopen on September 5th, the first day of school. That day after Labor Day, which is Tuesday, and that is, I want to say, let me see, I haven't been checking my Labor Day dates. Tuesday, September 3rd, we are going to have parent meet and greets, and you can come and meet the teachers that are assigned to your particular children, meet the director. So all of our buildings will be open that Tuesday, and we're asking that you can bring your supplies on that day. We'll send you another email about it, but you want to come in, meet the teacher. We're going to give you a window of times that you can come in, see the classroom, get familiar, let them know this is going to be your room, this is going to be your chair, this is going to be your Miss O and Miss so-and-so. So we just want to make sure that they get familiar with the environment, get to see it, because even if they were here in the summer, they may end up in another classroom. They may be upstairs, they may be downstairs. So we just want them to know. And, at that time, we probably already have our cubbies ready. This is going to be your cubby. We just want them to feel like home, because they are going to spend a good amount of their days here. And we want the classroom to feel homey and cozy in a place that they want to be. And we want you to be familiar and comfortable with your teacher. And, so everyone, again, we can't stress enough that it's a familial environment. So other than that, then we would open up on September 5th and 6th. And for those first 2 days, we're transitioning in. So I think we're transitioning within half a day. We're looking for people. I don't remember what the email said. Ms. Johnson, you can correct me because you sent that one out, you know, Ms. A. I think we do want to
So
serve
3:30
lunch.
So yeah, we're gonna serve lunch. So day one for our nursery is 12. The second day is 3:30.
Okay, so the first day is 12, and then the second day is 3:30. So that's their gradual transition in. And, you know, unfortunately, the next day is a weekend, and then we're probably gonna have to do it all over again on Monday, but at least they'll know it's a little bit. At least they'll know it's a little bit. But after a while, they'll run in. But do expect for it's change. We're not the nannies, we're not grandma, we're definitely not mom and dad, but they're gonna find their community, and they're gonna be happy for it too. So with that being said, we just want to thank you so much for coming out this evening and taking the time to sit and chat with us. We look forward to meeting all of you and, you know, building relationships. And can we expect a menu given so we know what they're eating? Yeah, all of that's going to be uploaded and online. So you'll see all of that at the start of the new school year. But if you do have a very, 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 very picky eater, you can always pack your own lunch. We just want to let everybody know we are a peanut-free facility. So never send peanut butter, always send like sun butter, or like, I think almond butter is okay, but we usually do sunflower butter when we do it. Okay? All right, thank you so much, and we'll see you all very, very, very soon. And feel free to stop by and pick up the shirts. They're here, they're in stock, and we're gonna make them available as of tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Thanks for joining us.